coming to you live on LinkedIn and X. I'm your host, Caleb Parker, and we are kicking off this Brave Ideas Live Special Edition. Today, I'm joined by my friend Josep Jorge, Congress Director for the District World Summit, the annual event where the global capital ecosystem is brought together. I was just there in Barcelona a couple of weeks ago. Before we kick off, though, a big shout out first. This special feature, Brave Ideas Live, is sponsored by the Brave Consortium, our collective of companies that assists Brave in turning distressed office buildings into the office of the future for investors and existing owners. Big shout out to Coho, Pont, Bright Spaces, NCG, Freshwave, and Return Suite. Joseph, before we kick into this interview here, we just yesterday released our interview with Congress President Juan Vallejos Luis. So before we start talking about these real estate trends, tell us how this third edition of the district went.
Oh, thank you so much, Caleb. Great pleasure to be at your show. That was the third edition. We are in the early beginnings of something great. This is an international event that we host in Barcelona with a pan-European view, trying to get and gather the best minds in the real estate and the main leaders. In this edition, we host over 12,700 attendees from more than 30 countries. So we had the opportunity to really share and networking with many of the main leaders in the industry.
That's it's big. When I was there, the content I thought was fantastic. Hit all the talking points that I'm leaning into, particularly around office and the future of office and how the future of work is impacting the future of office. And I think what was clear to me is that some of the other asset classes, the trends that are happening and that are taking place, that have happened the last couple of years, there's parallels for the office, from retail to living and residential. But we'll get into some of that in a moment. Why Barcelona? Why is this taking place every year in Barcelona?
I've never heard anything wrong again Barcelona from any foreign worldwide. So everybody wants to visit at least once in their lifetime the city. It's a really welcome city. It's a small city, plenty of architecture, plenty of heritage elements, with a really small size compared with other big urban areas in the world, and with a fantastic hospitality resources. So means that we have the right hotel plan, the right entertainment facilities to give a great welcome to everyone. So we try to promote it from Barcelona because it's a nice spot, it's a great spot, but also we are living some of the innovation in many different industries. By the way, in few years ago, we welcomed the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. It's a great and big event about internet and mobile solutions. And by the way, they came from where today's days is happening the MIPIM. Just to give you an overview about what the future could wait for us.
Well, and the weather's always nice as well. No one ever complains about the weather this time of year in Barcelona. We had it this year was the end of August, but you're moving it next year in 2025 to the end of September. Why
Yes.
the date change, and are you going to plan for the same weather?
I could say that weather is nice even if we are in a global crisis related with the climate change. So meaning that sometimes it's unexpected the result, but of course the welcoming it's assured.
And we're so as far as the dates coming in at the end of September this year, what is in store for the district for next year? I know you're probably still planning and debriefing
Yeah.
from this past couple weeks, but what's the plan for next year?
Yeah, we start to planning the district from scratch in 2021. So just after pandemic, I've been involved in for many years in many international events. So many of them are just chat, are just networking, just has fun. So that's something you will find also at the district. But the main value proposition is our congress. So there are not a congress like that in the whole Europe, I could say, and I've been in all them. So because I guess that what the professional and companies are looking for nowadays are reference, are some leaders that are ahead on time, that through their own experience share their learnings with the rest of the sector. And that is our main focus at the district. So become a real school of real experience for the forthcoming future in real estate. That's our aim goal each year, and the same will keep moving forward for next year, bringing real opportunities to the attendees, sharing with the ones that are the ones that are driving the progress in the sector, not just by what they thought or share, by the ones who are effectively doing new business models, new business projects that are said ahead in time and show us a path to follow in the near future.
Well, what was impressive to me is you had, I think it was almost six streams going at one time, different content threads, and so much information there taking
Yeah.
place. But what resonated with me, one of the conversations was in the living asset class, and you had two investors on stage and two operators on stage talking about the need for collaboration. And particularly around co-living, you had Stoneweg talking with Batty and talking about management agreements and diving into the details of the pros and the cons and the challenges around them.
Yeah, that's what we try to promote in each one of our sessions. As you saw, and many of the over 12,000 attendees experience in this edition, was there are a bunch of different topics and sessions. So by the way, we have over 125 sessions distributed in 5 different scenarios, running from morning to the evening with a lunch break, of course. But in total, more than 420 speakers, and for a total long of 270 hours, 270. So, mm, of course, no one is able to see it on live during those 3 days, but we define it as a kind of Netflix. So we have so much information, so many topics, so many great specialists during those 3 days concentrated in Barcelona that for sure you could pick the best topic you want to learn and share with the rest of your peers. That's part of the magic trick of the district. So if you come to the district once a year, you will be able to learn about the whole value proposition of the industry through their main executive. Each one of the sessions, as you have remarked, include mm, as much value chain members of each topic, each asset class, each theme, because the real estate sector is becoming so complex that you need to understand it from different angles. There are not just one right view. There are a complex scenario, many of them connected between different asset class, different business models, different investment approach. So you need to connect all those dots through a whole Congress that is holistic, giving you the reality, not just the mind thoughts about some gurus. They are giving you the clues why they are performing in that way and giving you examples of what they are successing on that particular topic or asset class or business, but also why they are failing. So even if you are not fully dedicated during those 3 days to learn about that experience, you have the opportunity to learn a lot. And by the way, once the event is closed, 1 month in time ahead, so in few weeks, we will disclose a website where you will be able to review each one of the session on streaming offline.
Well, speaking of Netflix,
Yeah.
so yeah, I remember last year getting that link and being able to go back in and watch some of the videos that I wasn't able to participate in live, and very insightful. But coming together at a destination like Barcelona at FIA, it's just as much learning and getting insights and sharing and exchanging ideas as it is being social and building relationships. And you guys facilitate that with the hospitality, the after hours, events, the dinners, and such a great time. So thank you for enabling me to participate again this year, and looking forward to next year for that.
No, that's for sure, and also the full frame of the district are not just the activities, are the goals. For many years, real estate sector has been a sector focusing on product, so has been a product drive industry, especially since pandemic, but many years before, and you have explained it for many years about the flex concept that is today's days quite embracing all the asset class in our industry, where the demand that is always part of the equation of marketplace is taking their moment in history. So demand is becoming the important piece that is changing our industry. And that usually is not well represented in other events. So in our events, we try to balance between supply and demand, supply through products and the full range of different products and value proposition, but also about the experience of the user experience. I guess each one of us are expecting some real estate space service. So we are not expecting to sign a lease agreement or a purchase agreement. We want to experiment the use of that space and the service related with. So that is a learning that the real estate industry has to get, has to update, and that's our final goal at each year edition.
Well, it is a good goal, and I think testing and improving and iterating is always the mantra that I've believed in. It's an entrepreneurial mindset principle, and one of the things that impressed me about you is after this huge event, 3 days of busyness. I saw you running around the district for those 3 days. You two things. One, you never hesitated to take a moment and stop and say hello to people, check on people. And number two, when it was over, you didn't go to sleep. You went to 3 other events and traveled around Europe. So I want to hear, between what we learned those 3 days and across Europe and these other events that you've been to, what sort of some of the trends that you're seeing in real estate, particularly around office, but generally as well?
I could assure that I'm a human. So meaning that I sleep, I eat. So no problem at all. I appreciate your comments. I guess we need to be grateful with everyone that shared their lifetime, which is each of us. So it's of course we have our human limitations. But as I say, I've been involved in the corporate real estate industry for close to 25 years. So I have now, becoming older, more experienced, have a more wide view about what's going on around our industry, and to find the right track, I need to be involved in many different events and ecosystems, because this industry is becoming more and more complex. So not just about different regions from the geographical point of view, but also about different asset class. You say offices. Offices for years was a really compact, safe asset class where large investors invest huge amount of money. They talk about that financial language as triple net lease agreement. So all in, so I'm just collecting money, net money. So it was a kind of financial instrument through an asset class, but secure by a long lease agreement. That mm, that was the normal. Today, that's the unusual situation. And in particular, in office, we saw before pandemic, once the digitalization of our economy and the mobile solution allow us to work from everywhere. Now we can almost live everywhere, so we can buy from every place. So location it's still being important, but you need to learn about how the different companies are undertaking that challenge, because it creates opportunities. So understanding, for instance, at Expo Real, what's going on for specific companies that used to be involved in certain markets and for certain asset class, or the same this week, 2 days ago, I was in Bilbao at the RICS Building Environmental European Summit, or just yesterday, we welcome in Barcelona the European Technological and Real Estate Council. So learning about those long-established organizations that has been so important for the past decades, and now that they are trying to give to their members or the assistants to or the attendants to the events the clues of the near future. You see there are a lot of opportunities in the market because nobody really knows what's going on. So that's what pushed me in particular to spend more and more time trying to learn about the trends. What's under the hood is uh, to try to give our clients and the rest of our peers some clues about the opportunities that the future is showing us. Also, you know I'm involved in the early stage ecosystem. So, by the way, also I'm the accelerator manager at La Salle University for Contech and PropTech, involved in the European contest also, and connected with the Latin ecosystem and North American ecosystem. So have the opportunity to meet and learn a lot from many different companies and many different professionals is part of my uh, goal in life also. And sharing it with the rest of you and your colleagues discussing about that I could say it's a joy, even if I have to sleep less than normal.
Well, I appreciate the uncertainty that you're describing is a bug and a feature of our current market right now, and it gives people who are curious and leaning into the trends the opportunity to make things happen and to innovate and to capitalize on that uncertainty and become the leaders of the future. One of the trends that Juan discussed in the podcast that we released yesterday was about the shift to of investors who don't have their own operational teams, for them teaming up with operating partners and management agreements. Of course, that was discussed on stage as well. And the other thing was the potential for offices coming back, but not to the pre-pandemic levels. Capital coming into the office asset class. There's a big discussion around whether it's going to come back. Yes, it's going to come back, but not to pre-pandemic levels. Do you have an opinion or a view on that based on those 3 days at the district and your other events that you've attended?
Yeah, yeah. The operator is becoming a key piece for the new puzzle. So never before rapidly change in the value chain for the different real estate business has happened as suddenly. Say that because operators are the ones that are in the front line of the user experience, are the ones that understand the needs, not just about the companies, the staff of that company, each individual user. So are able to tailor-made solutions. Those
Mm-hmm.
solutions usually occur in just one building or just one premise, but that's the focus point of landlords because they hold a small amount of portfolio, even if it's large, but it's not represent a big share in the real estate market. So operators has the ability to allocate the needs of the user in many different locations. Some of the locations are related with workspace. Some other needs are related with living, but also about education. So operators are the key element to make back the worth of real estate assets. So if you are not teaming up with the right operator and the right operator has the scale to shift the diversity of users' demand, you will not be able to be leading the next real estate office sector. So now we are seeing that change in the market when big investors are trying to invest heavily in operators. But at the same time, technological companies as Jardi is acquiring companies as WeWork. So it's so important to become efficient in the use of data to efficiency uh, uh, mm, perform a building, and not just in terms of income, also in terms of cost. You need to be extremely efficient to increase your margin. So we are in a nice moment in our industry to see some players that will win, but there will be a complex value chain solution between landlords, investors, and operators. For sure, there are other ones that they will keep performing as usual, the more classical ones. There are also market for them, no doubt about that. But the growth rate that you expect for the more classical ones are more or less flat. But for the new ones proposition, you will have a growing future ahead.
Very insightful. And I often say that a future of office real estate looks like what the hotel industry looks like. And I think if you think about the big global brands in the hotel industry, Marriott, Intercontinental Hotel Group, and Hilton, if you look at their portfolios, less than 3%, maybe less than 1% of them are actually owned, where they own the building, the asset themselves. They've become an asset light business as a brand and and the operational side. And I think historically in office real estate, the investors, the owners in the office buildings have the money, the scale of money, but they can't get the scale of reach for customer distribution because you just can't have buildings in every single market that customers are going to be in. So I think the future is, like you're saying, is where you have that value chain come together in a collaborative way to be able to both provide the assets and the places, as well as the brand and the customer distribution with the operational expertise.
Yeah, 100% agree. Our mutual friend Anthony Slamber, he pushed the space as a service as a concept a few years ago. Now, after pandemic, that was a pre-pandemic concept, has more sense than ever. That space as a service, and the challenge for the operators and the market is to play with the supply buildings. So now if we could create the right marketplace where we rebalance the strength of supply and demand, we will get a less risk market that will be able to shift the cycles because it will be more dynamic. We will be able to adapt in a faster way to the economic changes that are now in place and will come later on. So my view is that operators should be more integrated as at the asset class level. So office, living, cultural, educational should be part of the value proposition that operator should provide to the end user. So it's a quite interesting moment in time to see how technology is affecting to make a more efficient and new business opportunity for the entrepreneurs and for the ones that the classical ones, the established ones that see new opportunities to the market. That's what we try to explain every single year at the district, not with examples, with cases, showing lessons learned from third parties and giving the clues to the attendance to the event for perform a better business.
Well, those were some brave ideas you just shared. If I can be use that pun and say that I think it's fair to say you're optimistic on the future of real estate, the future of office real estate as well. Looking forward to next year at the district, of course. We are coming to the bottom of our time. Any final words about next year? Obviously, head over to thedistrict.com, thedistrictshow.com to look into next year.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Khaled. We are expanding the experience of the district abroad, Barcelona. Barcelona is the central point. Our event, it's a full English event, so it's not about the Spanish market. It's an international event hosting Barcelona, but we need to be closer to another regional markets. So next year we are preparing different missions to bring that experience to local places, to regional places, to try to explore that way to understand the forthcoming real estate market as an opportunity without fear, just having confidence that we need to adapt our performance to the future of our economy, our societies, and for sure from the sustainability level.
Excellent. Well, I hope that part of those missions are going to include the UK.
For
And
sure.
I look forward to participating in those and learning and continuing to learn. Josep, mi amigo, thank you so much for joining this special feature, Brave Ideas Live Edition. Don't forget, head to thedistrictshow.com for more information. This has sparked some ideas for you. And thank you very much. Muchas gracias.
Yeah, you're welcome, Caleb. And as always say to you, you are one that are ahead of the market. So keep pushing.
Oh, thank you so much. It's very kind words. Thank you for tuning in, everyone.
Take
Until
care.
next time, take care of yourself.
Bye.